Quesnel, and welcome to Q Today. I'm Allison Duddy.
And I'm Nate Bello, and this is our show for September the 28th.
Great, and coming up on today's show from The Observer, the second-degree murder trial of Ken Price, it continues, and also local theater magnate Paul Gaultier turned 100 years old recently.
And we also have a story about an important genome study.
Genome.
Yes.
Sounds interesting.
Very interesting. I'll tell you all about it.
Great.
And we have a report from Charlene from the Friendship Center about some of the things that are happening there.
Great. Thanks, Nate. Okay, so Q Today is about Quesnel talking to Quesnel. We like to bring you the recent news provided by our great partnership with the Quesnel Caribou Observer, combined with a little bit of our own commentary.
And we want to have your stories too from our community. If you have something that you would like to promote, give us a call. If you have a concern about any issue, give us a call. We're here because we want to get Quesnel talking to Quesnel. Don't forget you can email us at qtoday@qcatv.ca, and we could get your idea. We'll get your idea for a story, and we'll do it right here for the whole community to see.
All right, thanks, Nate. So on to the news. Remember, we just give the highlights out of the Caribou Observer, so if you want to read the full details on any of the stories that we cover, pick up your own copy of the Quesnel Caribou Observer. So our first story today, the Observer's Autumn McDonald has been covering the ongoing trial of Ken Price for the second-degree murder of Albert Boivin at the Brown Cabins on Lewis Drive, July of 2009. Now, the trial began with Price's lawyer telling the jury that this is a case of self-defense. So far, testimony for the Crown has included RCMP officers who attended the scene, the doctor who performed the autopsy, and the woman whose phone was used to call 911 the night of the incident. Now, just in Wednesday's Observer, Autumn McDonald outlined the testimony of the female witness who testified what she saw of the altercation. And after her testimony, the Crown wrapped up its case, and the next day the defense began its case, calling a man to the stand who testified that he used to work for Boivin. The defense then called Robert Marsh and Michelle Daniels, who both visited Price at the RCMP detachment in the days following the incident, and both testified Price had marks on his neck. Next in the trial coming up, Price will be taking the stand, followed by closing arguments. And of course, we're going to keep you posted on this story as we get more information. So.
Okay, thank you, Allison.
You bet.
Sad whenever we have a murder. I think we have a murder maybe once a year in Quesnel, and it'd be nice if it would be great if it were 0 murders every year.
For sure. Yeah.
As Allison mentioned, Paul Gaultier turned 100 years old. Happy birthday to Paul. As many of you know, Paul has been a big community supporter, very well respected in the Quesnel community. He lives at Dunrovin Park Lodge, and his family and friends gathered around him and wished him a happy birthday. And he was all smiles and congratulations, Paul Gaultier.
All right. Also, congratulations going out to the winners of the Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Quesnel WestJet fundraiser. Sue McDonald won the grand prize of WestJet tickets for 2 anywhere in North America. Mitch O'Vannon won the second prize of $100 Esso gift card donated by Kurt Pethick. And Nancy Coe won the third prize of a case of oil from Load 'em Up Petroleum. I could use that case of oil right now. My car's burning oil, Nate.
That's right. Yeah, you were telling me before we went on the air. And good thing it didn't all go at once, and the brake fluid and everything else at the same time. You know, you got here safe and sound, and
that's right.
Hopefully they'll fix it up today sometime.
I'm sure they will.
Okay. You know, I was thinking, gee, was case of oil, WestJet flight.
Yeah.
But I guess if you really need it and you want to have a car, you need that case of oil. So that was a good price too. Yeah.
Okay, and free is always a great price for anything, right?
Yeah, great. So congratulations to McDonald, though.
Yeah, for
go
sure.
Anywhere that WestJet flies in North America. Okay, time for sports.
All right.
Okay, Jonas Canyon is a sports guy over there, and he's doing a fantastic job. I met him the other day at the Big Brother Big Sister golf tournament, and he was taking lots of great pictures. But he did really a nice spread. It wasn't just an article, it was a spread on the Quesnel Kangaroos. you know, the hard work gets you through, and they had a very successful year last year. Toward the end, it kind of went a little bit off the rails, but they're very talented. And what I liked about it is, you know, I love the Millionaires, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were kids that came from somewhere else, played, and you had some good crowds, but some mediocre sized crowds.
Yeah.
But with the Kangaroos, they're known to people in the community. All the teams are in northern British Columbia, and they had gigantic crowds. So, and the spread talks about how the hard work is going to get them through, and you know, they have a better chance of winning anything than the Millionaires, who have to go against Burnaby and all those places down there.
Yeah.
So let's get behind the Kangaroos, and we're going to cover them really well this year.
They've got a game coming up, do they not?
October 13th.
Great. So
okay, that's a home.
get out there and support your local team.
All right. And also, another great sport is football. And the Coraloo Clan football team was back in action at Coraloo Field, which is great. First time they've been able to be back there for a while. And thanks to the hard work of the team members and the Coraloo facility, they came very close to winning their game. They played pretty even until the fourth quarter, and then they kind of fell back 28-12. But, you know, it was a respectable showing, and I love football. And from my back porch, I heard all the cheers and everything. I had guests, so I couldn't run over there, but I'm going to run over there next time. But you could hear it, and it sounded almost like what I remember as a kid, because I used to go to football games on Friday night under the lights. And we're not that developed here, but yay, Coraloo Clan.
Well, it's great to have them back locally, because I understand for a few years now they've been playing their games in Prince George due to lack of a field. So,
so
that's
great.
Awesome. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, and the Forestry Hockey League is back underway. Steve Dodge, if you'll remember last year, Nate, he sent in some really good articles. His update this week reported that Bear Communications took on Blue Collar. They beat them 4-1, and then the Serenity Builders also, they held a 4-3 lead over the Fraser River, and they pulled out the win also. So wins for Bear and Serenity Builders in the Forestry Hockey League.
And we're going to have to get over there with our video camera too and get some footage there.
You bet.
Okay, so would it be worth to change the genomes of trees if it would increase the yield, Allison?
Okay. I don't even know what a genome of the tree is, let alone if it would be good for the tree, Nate.
Okay, well, it has to do with cellular structure, and in science we're able to get in there and look at the genes now.
Like the DNA.
Yes, all that DNA, and you can
actually
really use that to increase yield.
So really?
Molly Machowski, Machowski. Yeah, Molly Machowski is a graduate student at UBC, and she's doing a study on what are public perceptions regarding the advisability of doing something like that. You know what I mean? Is like, what are we getting into? It's science fiction, you know, on the one hand, but on the other hand, we need more yield of trees if we're going to, you know, especially with the mountain pine beetle epidemic.
Yeah, exactly.
So she had a series of group meetings here in Quesnel over the last week or so, and here's Molly to explain what she was up to. Molly, what is this project all about? You've come to Quesnel. What do you hope to accomplish?
Well, I'm currently doing my master's research on enlisting public perceptions on adaptation in forest management with regard to adapting forests to climate change. And so, yeah, like we're exploring different possible adaptation management strategies that we might impose in the forests, and asking different social groups how they feel about those changes and how those changes might affect their community and local landscape. And yeah, I'm going to 3 other communities other than Quesnel, so Golden, Athabasca, and High Level, Alberta.
And why did you pick Quesnel?
Quesnel I chose because it's very nice, like classically very forest dependent economically, as well as other forms of dependence and stuff. But yeah, and I'm really excited to be here. It's been really interesting. I've had 2 groups so far, and with foresters and small business owners, and I'm excited to have the environmental groups present tonight, and yeah.
What will happen to your project when you're finished?
Well, like the result of my thesis, like how will it be, the results will be used to inform forest policy. Basically, this is the public consultation part of that, and evaluating socioeconomic impacts of performing assisted migration in tree species. And so, yeah.
Thank you very much. I might take some of this stuff. Yeah. You're all doing your homework. Come on up.
Oh yeah, these ones will get to you later, actually.
So, you know, actually, in my view, that's scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd rather human beings adjust to nature than nature adjusting to human beings.
True.
But this was just a perception, a forum to get people's perception, and maybe the message will be, don't something with Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay.
Sounds good, Nate.
Okay.
All right. So Charlene Van Conant is our social services correspondent here at Q today. We've got her first report coming up with Michelle and Lanny at the Friendship Center. So let's take a look at that.
Okay, so welcome to the Native Friendship Center, also known as Quesnel-Tilikum Society. My name is Charlene Van Conant, and I'm here today with some co-workers as well as our executive director, Sandy Brunton. And we're just going to talk to you a little bit about what we do here and some of the projects that we have on the go. So first I have Sandy. So Sandy, can you just sort of just explain a little bit about the Native Friendship Center and what we do here and some of the programs we have?
Okay, yeah, the first Friendship Center in Quesnel was started in 1972. It was just at a house close to here. And then in 1974, this Friendship Center was built. And it first started out as a hostel for Aboriginal people who were coming into town from the outside areas. But over the years it has changed its focus, and now we provide quite a number of services to both Aboriginal people and to the general population. We have an employment program for Aboriginal people. We've got alcohol and drug counseling. We've got an FASD program here. We've got a poverty law worker. We're also a drop-in center, so that people can come in and sit down and have a free cup of coffee and chat with everyone. We hold powwows every year, and I think I covered. I think the Needle Exchange program is going. Most of our programs are focused on people who are in need in our community and need services. So the Friendship Center is a welcoming place to be. We enjoy having people come in and visit us and talk with our staff, and we're here to help. So yeah, I guess that covers it.
So that's great, and it's just not for First Nations people. It's open to the whole community.
Yeah, and I hope there isn't too much misunderstanding about that, because the powwow, our yearly celebration, is one of the highlights of the year for us, and that's where we want to have a celebration, and then have a celebration with everyone in the community, not just Aboriginal people.
Right, and today to talk a little bit about the powwow is Michelle Mundt. She's our coordinator for that as well, and we're also going to be speaking with Lanny Kipling, who is coordinating a program called Connecting the Dots. So Michelle, maybe you could just explain a little bit about what the powwow is about and when it is.
Okay, my name is Michelle Munch, and I'm the coordinator of the Quesnel-Tilikum Society's 40th annual powwow. The powwow this year is being held on October 5th to 7th, Thanksgiving weekend. A powwow is a gathering of people who meet to sing, dance, socialize, and honor Aboriginal culture. It's open to all, and it's free to attend. We have a community dinner on Saturday at 5 o'clock, and everyone is welcome. The The powwow starts on Friday at 6 p.m. and it ends on Sunday at 4. We have a grand entry on Saturday at 1 p.m., 7 p.m., and Sunday at 1 p.m. The grand entry is when all spectators are asked to rise as the flags and eagle staffs of the host and visiting tribes are brought in. The eagle staffs and flags represent families, First Nations, and communities. It is a spectacular sight filled with beauty, excitement, and pride.
Thank you, Michelle. And it is an event that the whole community is welcome to come and see. And I like it. I think it's a great opportunity to learn about a different culture and to meet other people in the surrounding area, because you have people coming from all over for this.
Yeah, there's people that come from as far as Kamloops. Some people travel from the States. People from up north, like from Alberta, have called and had interest. And we have vendors selling stuff all weekend, so people are welcome to come.
So
and
we
look
have
at
like
some
jewelry,
crafts, jewelry, clothing. And everyone's welcome to come, even just to look at the vendors that are selling stuff.
So for anybody out there who have family coming in for the long weekend for Thanksgiving, then it may be an idea to drop in and check out some of the events that are going on here. So thank you, Michelle, for sharing.
We also look for donations for the powwow.
Oh, right,
That's because we fundraise throughout the year. So if anybody has any donations for mini auctions or donations of food for the community dinner, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, it is all done by donations, so that is a huge piece about keeping this an ongoing event in our community, a well worth one too. So yeah, that's great, so thank you. So next we have Lenny Kipling, and he is running a program called Connecting the Dots. So I'm going to ask him just to explain what that is and what it means to our community, and yeah, how it affects us.
Yeah, so Connecting the Dots is a 4-year pilot project to promote the mental health of urban Aboriginal families and youth. It's funded by Public Health of Canada, and it's a partnership between the BC Association of Aboriginal Friendship Centres and the Canadian Mental Health Association. So it's a lot about partnership, community building. So Connecting the Dots, like I said, it's a 4-year program. We're in our 2nd year now. Essentially, Connecting the Dots is a spin-off of Communities That Care model. But the Connecting the Dots takes it and adapts it to support the Aboriginal sector. So what we're trying to do is we identify the main protective and risk factors in the community, and once we identify those, we do those through a youth survey, which is going to be implemented soon in October, and focus groups. So once we identify the main protective and risk factors, then we go to our elders within the community and key leaders within our community, and we talk to the elders and find programs that they feel would be best supportive of their people, and then we get the funding to support these programs and implement them.
Can I just ask, Lanny, who are key leaders? Like, who are they in our community?
So key leaders are our high-standing community members. We have a superintendent from the schools. We have people from Northern Health, elders. It's really important to have as many elders and Aboriginal people in these groups hear their voices. But really it is high-standing citizens within the community. And then what key leaders do is they help pave the way to resources to help us implement the youth survey, to notify us of resources, to overlook the whole program and provide insight along the way. And they also, we have a community board group as well, who the key leaders support and oversee as well. The community board is the working group of Connecting the Dots.
Wow, it sounds like a huge project and one that the whole community is part of. What aspect of Connecting the Dots do you appreciate the most?
The thing that I appreciate the most about Connecting the Dots is there's 2 parts. There's the Elders Guiding Circle, which I think is really key, because we come back to the elders who are the wisdom of the Aboriginal people. So we have elders guiding circles a few times a year, and we meet, and they talk to us about our concerns in the community with their families and youth. They provide insight, and they will be who we go back to talk about their way of the Aboriginal way of healing with their families and youth, and implement programs that will support them in that way. So the second part is that I love about Connecting the Dots is called Tribal Best Practices. And it's just that, it's practices that the Aboriginal people have used for thousands of years with their families that have worked really well. And so it's when we do identify the main protective and risk factors, we will go back to the elders and implement programs, implement the Aboriginal way of healing and dealing with their children and families that they've used for thousands of years, and give it the credibility that it deserves. When we take this to the funders, and it will fund these traditional programs to support mental health for Aboriginal families.
And it's funny that you say these traditional ways of doing things, and I know that we have adapted many of those ways already, like the medicine wheel in in fact, some of the work I do. We use the medicine wheel as a guiding tool to help make change and to see how change is possible. So I'm thinking that's huge, and yeah, it needs to be respected and known, actually, I think, as well. So you did talk about the phases that you're in now. I know that you were here before, and you were talking about the beginning of the phase of connecting the dots. So where are you now? Like, where are we at?
So the phase we're in now is developing a community profile. So this is the phase of gathering all the data from the community. So like I said, we are going to be implementing the youth survey into the schools starting in the middle of October. We're targeting grades 6, 8, 10s, and 12s. This is an extensive survey that we have adapted to specifically address mental health with Aboriginal families and youth. This will be for all students in those grades to participate in and complete. Then we send that survey away and we get that information back, which helps identify the main risk and protective factors. The other part was the focus groups, which has been very interesting, and that's going to the parents and the youth within the bands and the community, and talking with them specifically in small groups about concerns they have within the school, the family, the community, and their own individual concerns. So once we gather all this data, we get a real nice, healthy, holistic assessment of the community. And then once we have that, then we can use that information to find programs that would best support those, help reduce risk factors and enhance the protective factors.
And so that's when we again then go into the community and look at other service providers who can help with that process. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
so we have another phase to get to, and I'm hoping that you will be available to talk to us again about what that looks like when that happens, and keep us updated on how the Connecting the Dots is going for us.
And any questions concerning Connecting the Dots, feel free to contact me at the Friendship Center. It would be great.
Yeah. So the phone number here actually is 992-8347 if you do have any questions, or if you'd like to learn more about what these programs that are being offered in the next month are all about, then you can do that. So
One more thing.
oh, we have something else to add here. Go ahead.
We're also having attachment training coming up in October if any parents are interested in that.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle. That's a great, yeah, there's an attachment training that's being held by Connecting the Dots, mostly funded by the Cornell Child Youth Family Network, Children's First program. It's October 10th, 11th, and 12th. October 10th is a parent session from 6:30 to 9 for parents only, to learn about attachment, that healthy bond with your children, and that accurate reflection back to them and their needs. And then the 2-day training is the 11th and 12th from 8:30 to 4:30, and this training is free to everybody. Lunch and dinner is included, and you can register at the Friendship Center. It'd be a great training.
And should they just register with you? Should they ask for you, or can they just leave their name and number at the front desk?
Yeah, they can leave their name and number at the front desk or contact me.
Okay,
whatever works best,
great.
yeah.
Great, and again, my position here, as some of you may know, is I am the FASD Resource Outreach, and I do work out of this agency. And it is also open for the community to come and look at resources, to come and talk to me about FASD, to learn about the parenting programs that I have ongoing. I have the Nobody's Perfect Parenting Program coming up in October, so again, if you're interested in taking that, please give us a call and ask for myself, and I can get you signed up for that. We have a mom's group that is open, and that's just when mom gets together, and it's a socializing. It fills a gap of isolation for some of our, especially some of our single moms who don't get out much. You bring your kids, we have lunch, we have a little fun game of bingo. And we also have a run a Moms for Recovery group too. So that is open for the whole community, and it's a great place to be and just reflect and be supported. So again, I'd like to thank you for being with us today at the Native Friendship Center, also known as Quesnel Tillicum Society. We're located at 319th North Fraser Drive, and doors are open. So thank you.
And now here's our community calendar.
All right, now it's time to move on to Sutton's Shutters. The fall fair took place last weekend, and our own Dave Sutton was there to take in some of the action. The fair had everything from livestock exhibits to bouncy castles for the kids, and included dog agility and training demonstrations, fur and feather displays, and various other activities throughout the grounds at the Agriplex at Alex Fraser Park. And of course, as always, Nate, we would like to thank Dave for sending in those pictures to us.
Sutton's Shutters.
Sutton's Shutters.
You're
Say
pretty
that
good.
fast 10 times.
You're pretty good at saying that.
Thanks.
Well, that's our show for this week. This is and it's our new 30-minute format. We would like to thank the Quesnel Lions for their sponsorship. And although they have decided that they were not going to do bingo on TV anymore, they are doing a lot of other activities. And I know that we're interested in what they're doing. It's a housing project I think they're getting into. And don't forget their garage sale on Saturday, September the 29th at the Maple Park Mall. Okay, we've reached the end of the show.
We have.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for watching. Remember, Q today is about Quesnel talking to Quesnel.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.